Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sunday watch list. This week should be very interesting. Let's start off with economic news. We'll get into SPY cues and then some individual setups as well. Won't make this one too long, but we'll still make it valuable. So, getting right into it, we don't have nothing on Monday as far as economic data. Going into Tuesday, we have FOMC minutes. It's not the FOMC meeting, but it'll still have some type of reaction. This is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 1, 12, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is just a recap of what happened in the most recent FOMC meeting. So, still important to be aware of it. I like to catch setups before it plays out so I don't get so I'm not waiting for it and looking for that setups throughout the FOMC meeting or FOMC minutes. So I'll be looking for setups before that. Wednesday we have GDP and PCE. So we do have some big economic data on Wednesday. Watch it at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the GDP will be before the market opens. Thursday, market's most likely going to be closed, Thanksgiving holiday. And then Friday, nothing major. But Friday, I probably won't even people usually take off Thursday and Friday off. People usually take both of those days off because, from Thursday going into Friday, it may be slow. It may be very slow. People just take throughout the holidays, people just take the whole weekend off. But if it's off Thursday, people just take off Friday and so on. Going into SPY and QQQ, very, very interesting this week. It had a slow grind up, but we did, right? We were no longer, this was the downtrend we were in. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, failed to make a lower low, took out that previous lower high, made a new high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And now we are breaking above this recent area of supply. It was demand back here, supply here, this 594, 595 area, and it was also this trend line. So notice that now that we have broken above this trend line and that area of previous supply, what I will be looking for is a bounce. You can see on Friday, we broke and retested and held that area. That was basically the play for Friday. So as long as we hold above this demand here, I am confident in going long into 598. And I'd be very careful around 599 to 600. This is an area of supply that I want to be very, very careful at. This could give opportunity for rejections up here, or if it gets above it, then we start pushing to all-time highs at 601, and we start pushing higher. Depending on the strength we get here with, this is definitely a supply area where I would watch though. Very, very simple. For the downside, I mean, I probably wouldn't be interested unless we get back below this trend line and really back below this 591 area here. Because now we have two trend lines. We have this upward trend line that I have drawn out here, this one. As long as we hold above that one, and as long as we hold above this one, we're technically bullish. If we get below both of these and below this 591 area, that's where I'll look for the break and retest here to go short down into 588, 587, 584. That will open up room to the downside. Until then, not interested in downside. Until then. Going into QQ, very, very similar, right? We were on this downtrend, high, low, lower high, took out that low, lower high, lower low, lower high, failed to make a lower low here, broke back above this previous lower high, above it, and we made a higher low, higher high, higher lows. And here we are at this recent higher high, which is 507, but we are holding higher lows. We want to see what's going to happen at 507. If Qs gets above 507, I see it pushing to 510, which is this previous area of demand from back here, and it is in confluence with this trend line here. So I definitely see some type of move happening in this area if it gets here, either for a rejection, or if we come up here with strength, a break and retest above, opens up doors to 513, and the next major supply isn't until 514, 515. So that is a move I'll definitely be watching on QQQ. For the downside, I mean, it's kind of tough. I'd say below 502. 502, 501 opens up room back down to 493. So for the downside, probably wouldn't be interested unless we get below 502. Anything in the middle, not interested. Those are the main levels of interest that I have. Going into individual setups, my favorite one's going to be Tesla. I made about 10K on this play on Friday and basically just caught the squeeze out, caught it from right like this 338 all the way up into 358. Like I caught the whole move. I trimmed along the way up, but I did catch this whole move basically. And it was basically just, if you guys want to see a recap, it was basically it was waiting for this trend line here. This was a trend line that was holding there. This was a trend line that was holding here. And notice how Friday we came to the pre-market low. We held it, held this area here, bullish hammer, bullish engulfing, pullback. I entered on the pullback and rode it back to the upside. It was a lot of I mean, I've been studying this setup throughout the whole week. We've been consolidating, we've been holding higher lows, flagging out, and it was just a matter of time before we got that breakout. So just getting a good entry in their areas of confluence, which is a trend line, pre-market low areas, confluence with the bullish hammers, multiple confluences here. And I was gonna take profit at that 346 because it's been a big area of supply every time we come there we reject, but we broke up with strength, so there was no reason for me to take profits way too early. So I was able to hold, and above 350, it just took off. So going into this week for Tesla, any retest of this 350, 340, 350 to 348 area, I think that looks amazing for Tesla, or above the 361, 362 area. 362.70. Anything above this opens up room to 370. So probably something I'd watch here on Tesla as well if we don't get the pullback. So above that gives us a move higher. But I definitely see Tesla making a bigger move. I definitely see us going a lot higher. So probably into like 385 even, maybe even 400 if this thing starts squeezing out. It's probably the next psychological target. We'll see what happens though, but this is gonna be my main setup for the week. Nvidia I like as well. It's very interesting right now. We are approaching a level of demand, so I'm gonna be very aware of how we react here at this 137, 137, 138 area. If we're able to hold this area, I'll be confident in taking the longs back into 144. Reclaims of 144, gets us back into 148, 150. We'll see what happens. This is a setup that is showing a little bit more weakness compared to the overall market. It was down 3% compared to everything else. Look what was strong, Tesla and PLTR. We'll go over PLTR right now, which is another setup that I'm watching this week. But right now, NVIDIA is showing weakness. I want to see what happens here at this 138. Anything below 138 opens up room to 134 and 132. So we shall see what happens with this setup here. Next is going to be, what was it, PLTR? PLTR is showing a lot of strength actually, as it is up. How much was it? 4.87%. And we just recently broke above an area of supply here. As you can see, every time we come here, we get rejected, down, break above, retest, hold, back below, reject, 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 and look where we are, above, retest. As long as we hold this 63 level, I could see us pushing into 65 and maybe even the highs at 66 for PLTR, just based off the relative strength it's showing and the key level that could probably come back to retest. So that's gonna be my main watch for PLTR. Netflix is my other favorite setup. And the next one's gonna be SMCI. Short and simple, guys. I don't need to have like 10 different names. I think if I just focus on Tesla really and capitalize on that momentum, that's all I need. And then I'll update my watch list as I go throughout the week. Here we have SMCI. It's been starting to show strength. It's up 11%, which is insane, right? We have a reversal. We're taking out this previous lower high. We're no longer making a lower low as we made a higher low. So low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Where is the next higher low going to be? I'm going to say where this previous area of structure is at. It was demand here. Now it's supply here. So I want to watch this 30.7 to 30 level hold up as a bounce level. If it pulls back and bounces, I'll be confident longing into 35 and 37, 38. So that's the setup with SMCI. We shall see what happens. Other than that, guys, pretty short, pretty simple. Let's see what some of these other names I had. Volatility this week, like MSTR, finally got a big sell-off. We'll see what happens with this name. It's holding area as of right now. Microsoft's not really doing much. Amazon, watch this 195. Like, what's gonna happen here? It's a big area of resistance for it. We'll see what happens there for Amazon. But other than that, guys, yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I don't want this video to go on too long. Those are my main setups. I do like AMD for like equity soon, as it's like kind of lagging behind some of the other names, but probably wait a little bit on this one too. But yeah, guys, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. SPY levels, QQ levels, main watches, and Tesla. Top 3 watches for the upcoming week. That's all I'm probably going to need, and I'll update as I go if things change in the pre-market. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Bootcamp starts Monday, and hope you guys have a great trading week. Peace.